everybody, it's Kara, and I'm here with my typical Tuesday video. I just wanted to make a short little video talking about mental illness. Mental illness is really close to me. I've had a lot of family members and also myself who have experienced a lot of depression and bipolar disorder and anxiety disorder, and I think it's just something that people don't think about in their everyday lives unless you have it and you're forced to think about it every day and you really don't have a choice. So I thought I'd just kind of like go over my experiences as someone with mental illness and talk about how I feel other people feel about it. And I just kind of just wanted to chit chat. So if you're interested in such information, then go ahead and just stay tuned. So I was diagnosed with bipolar 2. That's my most recent diagnosis. Before that, I was diagnosed with PTSD, or post-traumatic stress disorder, before that general anxiety, and before that depression. So if you're going to be getting anything from anyone about mental illness, I guess I would consider myself qualified. I mean, I am not a psychiatrist or a psychologist. A psychiatrist that gives you checkups and stuff. No, I'm talking about the brain. But yeah, I'm not a professional when it comes to diagnosing people with anything. I've dealt with all the colors of the rainbow, so I can kind of relate to a lot of people that, I hardly know, and I'm just kind of one of those people that you never know another person. You can't look at them and tell who they are or what they've been through. You can't just assume from one conversation that they're a horrible person or you know everything about them, because that's just not how it really works. A lot of people would like to think that that's how it works, but really you don't know. You can never know what kind of things a person goes through unless they tell you, and usually people don't tend to want to do that. And I think that this world is become such an evil place for kids like me who have started out young with all these problems, and you're in this atmosphere where there are just tons and tons and tons of kids your own age, and some of them are accepting and some of them are cool, and some of them understand and they don't discourage or just like hate you because you're different. But not everyone's like that, and I don't think it's ever going to be in a way where everyone accepts everyone. I hate to say that, but I don't have faith that that's going to happen ever. Because, if we didn't have those people who told us we couldn't do it, we probably wouldn't try as hard to do it. And so I think it's important, but I also think it's ridiculous because there are so many kids with depression and they go to school every day and they hate it because they're miserable and they have no friends, and then everyone's like, you're mean, then they go home, or that you're mean, you're horrible, you're sad, you're depressed, you're annoying, get away from me, and then they go home and they sit in their bed and those words just ring in their head again and again and again. You're looking up at the ceiling and all you can hear are these people's voices just repeating every bad word that they've ever said to you. And I think that people find it selfish to be suicidal, to be depressed. It's selfish to think about yourself and be sad all the time, And I think that that's absolutely ridiculous and very, very inaccurate. And I think that if people would be more open-minded and more willing to care about other people's emotions and feelings and be more open to take time out of their lives to help other people, that we wouldn't have such an epidemic on our hands. Because when you feel hopeless, when you feel upset, when you're just tired of everybody constantly telling you you're wrong and you're weird and they don't like you, at that point in your head, you're not thinking, well, my family loves me. You're not thinking, well, at least, you don't think about how privileged you are, because you don't feel privileged. You feel like every single thing in your life is just bad and you can't take it anymore. And I think that that's not selfish to think like that. I think that that's completely normal to think like that, especially when we are placing these children into these atmospheres where people are so unwilling and so unkind. And, I dropped out of school my sophomore year of high school. the end of the year I dropped out. I wasn't going to do it anymore. I was so sick and tired of like always feeling like I never belonged anywhere, and that everyone around me was so much better than I was, and that there was no way that I was ever going to be like them, and that just killed me. I hated it, and everyone, they just, the eyes and the stares and the whispers, and you know, now looking back, I know I shouldn't have cared about what they think, because, you know, they're just people, and one day I'm going to move away, and I'm never going to see them again, and they're never going to see me again, and they're not going to affect my life, and I'm not going to affect their life, and it shouldn't have been a big deal. But in this moment where you just have everything around you, you have the pressure of school, you have the pressure of college, you have the pressure of being normal, just so that you don't get picked on and patronized all the time, it's just so overwhelming. And I've met people who just don't understand that it's not a choice. You don't choose to be depressed. You don't choose to be bipolar. I mean, it's not something that you woke up one morning and asked for. And so I just think that we, as a race, human race, need to think about other people more. Because there's racism, there's hatred, for more things. There's like a long, long list of why people hate other people that make no sense to me. And I can't even name all of the things. And it blows my mind that people are willing to tear down other people just to make themselves feel better. And I could be wrong, because some people are sociopaths and stuff, but it make you feel just as good to make them happy. Because when you make somebody else happy, that makes you feel good inside. It will make you happier than if you were to tear them down. And I guess people may not understand that, and there are people that'll go to their graves and think that what they did was all right and what they did was acceptable. But I want people to see. I think it's important that people understand that it's not funny. It's not funny. It's not a joke. It's not a laughing matter. Just because somebody is mentally ill or mentally slow or just socially awkward does not mean that you should slander them. And I guess I'm saying things that people probably already know. I just feel like people need to hear, be reminded. And, you know, I know people. I talk to people that are mean and hateful people, that are mean to other people and pick on them. And I talk to them. I know them. I'm not mean to them because they're mean to other people. I don't know. Sometimes I just kind of imagine myself just being angry and being like, you know, you need to stop being mean to kids. You're a horrible person. But I feel like that would put me on the same level, if not lower, than them. Because I think that the adults, like the school teachers and the principals and the parents of these children and of the children who are getting picked on, there needs to be something that's going to be done within the structure of which this is happening. I feel like schools and principals are really quick to just throw it out and be like, oh, well, you know, it's just an incident. Oh, well, it's not that big of a deal. Oh, well. And everyone asks why so many kids feel hopeless and feel like there's nowhere else to go. It's because they've gone everywhere and nobody cares. No matter how hard they try, all the people they look for help don't help. And I think that the people like that are to blame. It's not the kids that are finding themselves in these situations faults. It's the people who they went for help and they didn't help them. And I guess that may not make sense because the way I worded it was kind of confusing, but it made sense to me, so we're gonna go with it. But yeah, I guess that's all I have to say about that. I mean, I probably will make another video in the future about my opinions, because that is like not even near the end of all the opinions I have on that kind of stuff. But I just like wanted to touch base on it because I feel like that's something important. And maybe next time I'll get more in depth about having bipolar 2 and having PTSD and how that is in a kid my age, because I think that's also kind of interesting for people who don't know to know, you know. you know. But thank you for watching my typical Tuesday video. I know this one's kind of scattered, and some things may not make sense, but I get really like into something and I don't really think about whether or not it's gonna make sense listening to it. But thank you for watching. If you would like to leave a comment below, maybe tell me your experience with mental illness or your point of view on the matter. I love to understand and experience what other people think about the things that I think about, because I would hate to be a one-minded person who only consistently cares about what I'm thinking and the way I feel about things. And I find it interesting to like take in the opinions of other people that I don't know or that I do know, you know. So if you want to leave a comment, leave a like, subscribe for other videos.